Morning guys, girls. Just doing a quick video. Haven't done anything for like a couple of weeks because I had some really bad flu and it was difficult for me to speak really because my throat was so sore and that. But it is virtually easing off now. Just getting over the last dregs of that. So really just been catching up on all the other channels I sub to and having a look at YouTube and that, because I haven't really been on here much in the last couple of weeks, so just catching up. And yeah, just want to say thanks to Bob for that little video there. And yeah, I totally agree, mate. The old trolls, well, fair enough, we get the views off them, but they're just not worth it, are they really? You know, always hiding behind different names and fake accounts. So yeah, I wouldn't let them stop me doing anything on here anyway. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, any more trolls and that, I'm just gonna ignore them and possibly block them from the channel, you know. So yeah, thanks again, Bob, and I hope your new venture and the move all goes well. And yeah, so the story I was going to do today is one that someone asked me about quite a while ago, about getting a rehab as a court sentence, a residential rehab rather than prison, as an alternative to custody. So I'll go through one of those times where this happened to me. And what it was, I was released in 1995 from a 3-year sentence, and I was out a few months, and then I got arrested again. So I was back on remand in 1995 again and 1996. And to go about getting a rehab, first things first, it was you know, you're up and for sentence, and then the judge will be asking for possibly pre-sentence report. You know, once you've been found guilty, you know, he'll adjourn the case for 4 to 6 weeks possibly, and you will have to see various people, you know, possibly probation, drug workers, psychiatrists, you know, medical professionals, all that sort of stuff during that 6 weeks. And then they'll put in the report for the judge, you know, what they think, whether they think you're suitable for rehab or not. But I must just say, the judge doesn't always have to go by what it says in a pre-sentence report. Usually by doing reports, he's doing you a favour, really. You know, because really they don't have to do that. They can just sentence you there and then, you know, with whatever. So yeah, having got this judge's remand for 6 weeks, I went back from Croydon Crown back to Highdown Prison. And then first of all, the first appointment regarding this was with KE, my probation officer, who was actually the prison probation officer now. She did used to be a normal probation officer with the Ministry of Justice at Mitcham and Sutton offices, but was now working full-time for the prison probation services. So I had to see her and told her, you know, I was really thinking about going to a rehab. And at the time I was, what, 26, so in my mind, you know, yeah, of course I wanted to stop, but deep down in me, I wasn't telling anyone this, like the workers, like the probation officer or the drug worker, that basically I just wanted to get out of another big prison sentence. You know, my last one before was 3 years, so I was looking at 5 to 6 years, possibly, you know, having been convicted of the same offence again. So yeah, possibly I was looking to go to rehab, obviously to avoid a big prison sentence. But by this stage, I'd been on the drugs in 10, 11 years, hard. And I did possibly want to stop for a bit, but not 100%. Half of me wanted to stop, you know, because of all the crap that life causes to other members of your family, all the prison, all the destruction, all the death. And the other half of me just wanted to carry on taking more drugs. Yeah, let's go back to the prison. So yeah, I've seen Katie, the probation officer, and she said, okay, what we'll do, I'll arrange an appointment with you with this guy that comes to the prison that works for the Cranston project, which was based in Kingston and Wimbledon back then, the one that I used to go to that was dealing with my case. So this guy comes to the prison for a visit, and it lasts about an hour or two. You know, you have to go through everything, your whole life, why you end up on drugs, why you want to stop, why you don't think you should be given a prison sentence and you should be given this opportunity, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And also, one of the main important things is the funding, who's going to pay for it, you know, because the rehab, you know, when you're getting a rehab sentence, you're looking at getting one from 18 months to 2 years in a rehab. So it's not going to be like 6 weeks there and you're out and it's all finished. So, you know, it's still quite a long time. So basically, I was talking to him, the guy from the Cranston project, saying about why I wanted to go rehab, and you know, and I was being honest as well, saying, you know, if I do get a prison sentence, it's going to be a big one. So yeah, it was to get out of a prison sentence as well, but not just that. So, you know, I had to be obviously careful how I was wording my things and that, you know. And another idea I had, the judge I was up in front of, Judge Pullinger at Croydon, his daughter, I'd heard, had died sadly from a drug overdose. And so what I decided to do, coming up to sentence, I wrote the judge a letter as well, saying, you know, how miserable my life had become because of the dependency on various substances. And, you know, I didn't start out to become a hardcore criminal. It's just the path that drugs took me on, and that sort of stuff, you know. Because like I say, I started off as just really petty criminal, like shoplifting and stuff like that, and then moved up to more serious things, you know, like robbery and burglary and violence and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, drugs weren't really a positive thing for me in my life. So yeah, I've had my appointments with probation and the drug worker. So yeah, I'm in my cell writing a letter to the judge, you know. And there was a couple of other guys there, you know, because wouldn't have just been me on the wing waiting to try and get you know, a rehabilitation type sentence. And you've got to remember, this is just before DTOs came in, you know. There was other people there, you know, but and there was one other guy at the same court, you know, actually I was talking to about the letter, and I actually wrote a letter for him as well, you know, because they thought the letter that I was writing to the judge was pretty good. So other people were paying me to write letters for them to the judge that they was in front of for various reasons, you know, smaller sentence, community sentence and all that, you know. So yeah, I was always quite good at writing letters though. And I also used to read a lot of letters for one of my cellmates who couldn't read and write, my traveller mate, Bill, and for other inmates as well that couldn't read and write. I was always oblige them and read their letters for them and stuff, you know. So yeah. Giving it to my lawyer, who's going to hand, my barrister, who's going to hand that to the judge before sentence, done all the reports and all that sort of stuff, you know. So yeah, it's court day. So basically on the day of sentencing, as you know, the screws, they'll come around and get you in the morning a bit earlier than anyone else, you know, because you got to have your breakfast. So be unlocked about, you know, 6:30, 7 o'clock. Have your breakfast, your porridge or whatever, your cornflakes, and then you get your kit, you know, pack your kit in your prison plastic bag, you know, We used to have them clear see-through bags with HMP printed all over them, you know, and that's where your kit went. So you put all your clothes in there, and because it was sentencing, you know, you don't leave anything there. You take it with you, even though you might think you're definitely getting custodial. You still take it with you for whatever reason. You know, the judge could say to you, you're going to, I want you to go to serve your sentence at a different prison, so to speak. So yeah, packed my kit, and yeah, went with the screw then down to reception. You know, the walk down reception from the wing through the walkways down to the reception, which is near the visiting room in High Down. And then where through reception, you know, where all the courts are, all people there sitting in the different rooms or cages, whatever you want to call it, you know, and you all sit together and have a chat. You know, these big cells with a bench that goes all around the walls. There are some singular cells there, which they usually keep to separate people, but most of the time that's for when a nonce is there, you know, so no one can get to them. They're in like one tiny little cubicle on their own, sort of thing. Yeah, so we're going through reception there, and then we're waiting for the sweat box. The sweat box has come. So I'm getting on the sweat box there. You know, you're cuffed from reception to the van, which is only a few steps. And they put you in a cubicle, you put your hands out like that, and then they uncuff you. You know, so, you know, that's all to stop any escape attempts and that. And then you're in your little steel cubicle in the van. And I must say, I did used to like that smell, that early morning smell of the diesel from the old vans, and the sound, you know, possibly because, you know, when you're away, you don't hear no traffic really, depending on where the prison is. So yeah, I did used to like the actual smell of the diesel. So we're on the van now, all the prisoners are on, and we're going to the courts. And where I was going, Croydon Crown, was quite early on the journey for the court route, you know, because Croydon is only up the road from High Down Prison. So, you know, basically up to Croydon Crown Court by East Croydon. There, you know, you go through the gates in the court, you know, which is usually sort of underground, and the bus has a turntable, you know, so it can manoeuvre in the basement of wherever it is. So in my case, Croydon Crown. So basically, yeah, what happens then is you're taken off the bus again, you know, put your hands out, you're cuffed up again until you get off the bus, and then you go up in the lift to the floor where what courtroom you're going to be in. You know, could be more than one floor, like the Old Bailey's got quite a few floors, and so as Croydon's got more than one floor. I think it's 3 floors, and you can go up in the lift. So you go up in the lift with the screws, and then you go into the cell, the holding cell, and then when it's time for you to go up for sentencing, the screw, they come and get you, and you go into the court. So basically what happens is the judge looks through, you know, his bits of papers and that, and he says whether he's deciding to follow what the reports say or not, you know. And obviously I've seen the report beforehand, and my report did say, yeah, we recommend that you give this guy a chance. He's never been to rehab before. He's been an addict for over 10 years. You know, definitely could give him a chance for residential rehab. And luckily, Judge Pullinger, I assume he read my letter, and my barrister done his little talk, you know, and basically he followed the guidelines on the report. So I was really chuffed about that. So basically what it was, yeah, I was sentenced to, I think it was 2 years residential rehab order, you know, and loads of conditions on it, you know, any breaches, it would be straight back to prison to serve a sentence that would be, I'd be resentenced basically if I breached. So basically what happened was, after that, I wasn't let out straight away. I was to go back to the prison, and I was given a date for when I'd go from the prison to the rehab, and I'd go there myself. So basically, yeah, I think I went back to the prison, and then over the next few days, a few things were sorted out, like travel warrant stuff, you know, where to go and how to get there, all that sort of stuff. The fact that you're not allowed to stop off anywhere on the way, you had to be there at a certain time. Now the rehab I was going to was called Ferry Cross. No, not Very Cross. I mean Ferry Cross, as in a boat ferry, which was in Norwich, you know. And the reason I particularly sort of chose this rehab is because I think it wasn't at one of those like concept houses, you know, which was it wasn't really a religious type rehab, so to speak, you know. It was sort of they did sort of do some of the 12 steps, but like I say, it wasn't really based on God or anything like that, you know, which is what I preferred. Although I do respect people that have religion and all that sort of stuff, and I must say that I am a person that believes in science more than anything, you know. Obviously I do believe there is life out there in this big universe, not just on Earth, but I believe in evolution and science and possibly the Big Bang and all that sort of stuff. You know, before I believe anything, I like to see it proven with my own eyes, you know. You know, basically if you throw a ball up in the air, it comes back down sort of thing, you know, and that's science. But anyway, yeah. So this rehab, yeah, it was, like I said, I was back in the prison for a few days. And then I had an appointment with the guy from Cranston and KE, my probation officer, and prison probation again. They gave me some money. My travel warrant told me that I had to get a train from the prison to Liverpool Street, and then go from Liverpool Street to Norwich, which is what I did. So basically, yeah, I've gone from the prison a few days or a week or two after sentencing, and because you know, of my previous history of failures to appear and some quite serious offences, I was given a 6-month probationary period. So basically I had to go to this rehab from prison for 6 weeks, and then after 6 weeks the staff there would then get in touch with the courts and probation and stuff and decide whether they thought that I would be suitable candidate to be part of the residential program for the next 2 years. You know, if I was not to be, then it would be back to court for a different sentence, you know, basically for a custodial sentence. Oh Jesus, guys, we're 20 minutes in, so basically, yeah, we're at the bit, you know. I'm going out in the morning, you know. This is after the court times, about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm at reception and I'm about to go out of the gate to go to the rehab from London all the way up to Norwich, and I'm going to have to do this in a part 2, guys. So yeah, just want to say, like I say, I've been ill. I'm glad I'm back now. I'm catching up with all the channels that I subscribe to. So yeah, just want to say hi, guys, and hope you all have a good weekend this weekend, and hope everyone's well, and thanks a lot. Speak to you soon, guy. Thank you.